I had told my landlord that I was going to be gone for those 6 weeks, and I didn't expect to have to pay during that time since I was moving all of my stuff out of the apartment. So the apartment was empty. I wasn't in it. None of my belongings were in it. Nobody was staying in it. So it was empty. And I told her about this about a month in advance, and she's still charging me for rent and utilities, even though there was nobody in the apartment and I was gone for 6 weeks.
Okay. So what's the $3,800 for again?
Emotional distress. Because she's gone around, she's been bad-mouthing me. I've been a perfect tenant. I've paid rent on time, and I've been very quiet, and I don't bother anybody. And for some reason, she wants to still charge me, and then she's bad-mouthing me to everybody, and she gave me a couple of eviction notices, so I don't... So
okay,
yeah, I'm taking her to court.
Okay, I'm definitely missing part of this story. Ms. Briggs, you mind filling in the rest as to what's going on here?
I will try my best. This young lady, I actually gave her a break. My name is Miss Briggs. I'm always trying to bless others, and sometimes that comes back to haunt you. I was really being nice to this young lady because her mom and I attend the same church, and her behavior is just it's so much different than her mother, but it's okay. I agreed on giving her a $300 discount in her rent already. She has a lease. She told me she was going away. Okay, we go on vacation. But if you choose to take all of your belongings when you go on vacation, that's up to you, but you still have a lease. And so I've made no commitment for her not to pay her rent. And of course, I went through the proper procedure, and I'm going to evict her if she doesn't pay.
Okay, maybe I'm just being dumb today, but I'm confused. You signed a lease for, how long was the lease?
A year.
A year lease, and you were gone for 6 weeks, which is a month and a half, right? Correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you signed a lease for an entire year.
But
okay.
I told her that I wasn't going to be there for those 6 weeks.
I got that. I understand that part. But here's what I don't understand. That time that you went away to Europe for 6.5 weeks, I'm not even understanding why you removed your property from your place.
So that I didn't have to pay rent. See, if it was an empty apartment, if I wasn't there, if none of my stuff was there, why should I have to pay to keep my stuff there? Because at that point, that's what I'm paying for.
Okay, but here's the problem though. If you take all your stuff out and you're gone for 6 weeks and you have a lease, she can't rent that spot to another person. It's yours. You signed an agreement. It's yours. She can't.
I gave all my stuff. I put stuff in my friend Jennifer's place. It's cheaper to keep it there. She doesn't charge me for it.
I understand that, but she can't rent that space because it belongs to you.
But I told her I wasn't going to be there, so she could have rented it out to somebody else.
Okay, let me help you with this. Let's say, for whatever reason, she decides to rent that space while you're gone for 6.5 weeks, right? She's gone 6.5 weeks. I'm going to rent the space out while she's gone. The person that's there causes damage to the place. The walls are damaged. Maybe the plumbing's damaged. There's damage in the place to this person who's there for 6 weeks. Now the person's gone. Now you're coming back.
Yeah.
She's responsible, right?
Well, no, the person who was there is responsible.
No, she's responsible.
But
She's got to be responsible. You know why she's responsible? Because you're coming back. The place has to be pristine the same way that you left it. Because if it's not, now she has another problem. And you have a problem. Where am I going to stay? My place is damaged.
I'm going to stay with my friend Jennifer.
But see, Jennifer's not part of the lease agreement.
But I'm telling you, she could have rented out my room, my apartment for 6 weeks. And then if there was any damage, I could have stayed with my friend Jennifer. But I told her about it ahead of time. If you're going to have an
arrangement like that where you're out of the country for whatever reason, then I would suggest that you get a lease that goes month to month. Okay? But you went for an entire year. That place is yours. Whether you move your stuff out or not, you could have even had someone come and house it for you while you were gone.
But the agreement was made between her and my mom. I just kind of signed the papers and I moved in.
Is your mom's name on the paperwork?
No, but she told me, she's like, here, sign this and you can live here.
The paperwork says Sarah Davis.
Yeah, I signed it, but my
You're
mom
Sarah
gave
Davis.
It.
Is your mom Sarah Davis?
No, she's Mrs. Davis, but she handed me the paperwork and she said, this will be fine. You'll live here for a while. And I just signed it. I didn't know.
Ma'am, but you're responsible. You're an adult. You're responsible for everything that comes with that. I'm sorry, but that window of 6 weeks while you're in Europe, you're responsible for that apartment.
But I could have been doing something else. I could have been lying about where I was. I submitted photos as proof that I was in Europe during that time.
But you know what? And we got those photos. But here's the thing. You could have been across the street and it still wouldn't matter. You could have been in the apartment next door. It still wouldn't matter. You're still responsible under the agreement of the lease that you signed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Your $3,800. You're not getting. Ma'am, how much does she owe you?
Well, she owed me for at least, she hasn't paid her rent. She's always late. But
Wait a minute. So since I understand that she didn't pay for that for the 6 weeks. So you're telling me she hasn't paid for 2 months?
2 months.
At least 2 months.
At least 2 months. And can I add this?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, this young lady, you're taking up my time, number one, but I'm glad to be here in your courtroom. Well, Judge Porter, I feel as though I've given her a lot of breaks. Her mom and I, we attend the same church, and we have such a great relationship. I gave her a $300 a month discount. And I wasn't gonna bring it up, but her behavior today, it shows. I've received so many complaints from the neighbors. The police have been called a number of times, and I really wasn't gonna say anything. But today, girlfriend, it is here. Clearly, your behavior warrants nothing but paying your rent. And maybe next time you'll make some better judgments. Going to Europe, spending your rent money, is that a good thing?
I shouldn't have to pay my rent. I was gone for 6 weeks. I told her I was gonna be gone for 6 weeks. I moved my stuff out of my friend Jennifer's house. She let me keep her stuff there. I told you I was gonna be gone. I told you I wasn't expecting to pay rent for 6 weeks. And you're still telling me I have to pay for utilities.
Okay,
I shouldn't have to pay for utilities. I didn't use any water, any electricity. I shouldn't have to pay.
Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to calm down. Bring it down, okay? Can you do that for me?
It's not fair. It's not fair.
I understand you're discontent with what's going on right now. I get that. But you still have to act in a certain way when you're in court.
I'm sorry, but when she's bad-mouthing me like that, saying the police were called, I've never had the police called on me.
Ma'am, what a coincidence. I've never had the police called on me either. So we have something in common. But look, here's the thing, okay? Like I told you earlier, when you're gone, whether it's 6 weeks, 6 months, whatever the case may be, it's still within the window of that lease.
But I told her I was going to be gone.
Don't interrupt me. Please, let me finish, okay? You're still responsible for the property. You're responsible. She can't rent that out.
I wasn't
it's
even
yours.
using it though.
It doesn't
told
matter.
her I wasn't
it's
using it.
Yours. It's yours.
But I told her it wasn't going to be there.
Ma'am,
she should be able to use it if she wants. It's her building.
If that's your concern, or if that's going to be your lifestyle, then you're going to have to rent month to month. But for right now, am I correct? It's 2 months that we're behind now?
Yes, 2 months.
2 months. You're going to have to pay that 2 months. I'm sorry, I'm going to dismiss your case, but I'm requiring you to pay the 2 months rent that you're behind, because if you don't, you're going to have extra fees and it's going to cost
Court
you.
costs.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, then this case is dismissed.
Stupid.
What an awesome day in court today. Judge Porter did an awesome job of the verdict. Clearly, you do nice things, you try to treat people right, and this is what comes back to bite you. I think she should have made some better judgments of going to Europe, spending all her money. But you know what? She has to learn. She's a young lady and she'll learn from this.
I have the money to pay for my rent. I've paid my rent on time. I don't know why she was saying those ridiculous lies about me, but this isn't over. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wow, where to begin with this one, because there's a lot to unpack here. This woman decided to take a 6.5 week vacation to Europe. She took all of her belongings from the house and just moved them away, leaving the place empty, thinking she won't have to pay for those 6.5 weeks because she was gone. Well, she got a reality check. Thank goodness. She deserves a reality check because you can't be doing that. You can't just be assuming that you don't have to pay if you leave all your stuff out. Like, come on, no. You signed a lease, a 1-year lease. You have to pay for that. If you're signing a 1-year lease, and you're living there, even if you take all your stuff out and you stop using the place for a little bit, you're still gonna have to pay. And she doesn't get that. Thank goodness this judge knew what he was talking about because, yikes. This woman sounds like a fun person to be with. But that's just my opinion, and my opinion really isn't important here. What matters is your opinion. What are your thoughts and opinions about this? Please let me know. Please let me know your opinions because they do matter to me. See you next time, Miss Netflix. I gotta go. Take care. Bye.